I'm Dr. Donna Goldstein, your weight loss and lifestyle strategist coming to you from Hollywood, Florida. Lots of my clients and friends have asked me about the issue of portion control. A lot of us know what to eat, and a lot of us eat the right things, but maybe too much, or you're not sure how much is exactly a portion. You know, I was overweight for the better part of 30 years, sometimes as much as 70 pounds overweight. And I didn't get heavy eating McDonald's food. I got heavy eating healthy food, what I thought was healthy food, but I was eating hummus, I was eating peanut butter, I was eating full-fat cheese, granola, nuts, all those things that I now know I have to be very careful about the amount that I eat. So I want to kind of help you take your life back. I want to give you some tips that'll help you get in control of your eating, of your portion size. And I've got 5 pretty easy hacks. These are things that I do and have done for the last 10 years since I've kept my 70 pounds off. And I hope they'll be helpful for you. You know, whenever you're eating something that tastes delicious, you just kind of want to keep eating and eating until you're full, don't you? But the problem with that is that it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to know that you're full. Your brain's going to keep saying, yum, 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 eat, eat, eat. But it takes a while. And then by the time your brain and stomach kind of are in equilibrium, then you're really over full. So you have to learn to stop eating before you're actually full. And if you know what a portion is, and that portion is going to keep you full, it'll be really helpful. So let's look at 5 things that might be useful to you. The first one, tip 1, is I really recommend that you read the ingredients of everything, because everything just about has way too much sugar, way too much salt, lots of preservative, lots of things that are going to make you want to eat more and more of it. And I think it's really important to just be clear about what's going in your body, because of course I teach that our body is a temple. I was at a friend's house the other day and she had this iced tea and she offered it to me. Well, of course I didn't want to offend her, but I said, do you mind if I look at the bottle? It was in a nice bottle and it was a nice blend of tea. Well, it turned out that 1 glass was about 90 calories. It had a lot of sugar in it. And what I realized and what I kind of pointed out to her, I said, okay, so let's say you have even 1 glass a day. That's 3,000 calories in a month. That's about 10 pounds a year you're going to gain just from drinking iced tea, the iced tea that you drink every day. So why not look at the ingredients and either make your own iced tea or get an iced tea that doesn't have any sugar in it. It doesn't have any aspartame in it either. So once we know what's in our bodies and what's in the food that we're eating, it's going to make a big difference to us. My second tip is that what if you bought things that were in portion controlled sizes? I know sometimes, we're wasting some of the plastic, but for instance, I like to eat hummus. But if you have those little kind of tiny cups of hummus, you're not going to eat as much as if you had a big container of hummus. One of the things that I found today when I was looking was, how about a little box of raisins? These are our Paul Newman organic raisins. I remember in my lunchbox, my mom used to put the little teeny ones of raisins. Those were cute too. You can't eat a lot of raisins. They're very high in carbs. But having it portion controlled, at least this is what you're going to eat. You're not just going to put your hand into the jar and eat as many as you feel like, right? And also the same thing with Hershey's Kisses. Not that I'm recommending that you eat commercial chocolate, but my mother, she has 2 Hershey's Kisses before bed every night, and that satisfies her sweet tooth. And I think it's really sweet that that she can do that. So having something portion controlled, you know what it is, you eat it, it's a good thing. Tip number 3, I think it's really important to decide what your portion size is going to be, and then you can stick to it better. So I'm a big fan of pistachios. So let's say I buy a bag of pistachios. So it used to be before, when I was heavier, when I wasn't practicing portion control, I might just stick my hand in the bag or have them in a bowl and just kind of nibble on them throughout the evening or while I was watching a movie. And before I knew it, maybe I had eaten 1,000 calories worth of pistachios or more. Now what I do is when I get the pistachios, I get a little baggie, and then I make a baggie with just enough pistachios for 1 serving. So it depends on what you're trying to do, how quickly you're trying to lose weight. My clients are on all different kinds of programs, and but this is about 25, 30, you could have even 35 pistachios, but then you zip the little baggie up, then you put the pistachios away, and this is your serving of pistachios, okay? You don't want to eat macadamia nuts, by the way. They're very high in fat. I just saw them at the store, and I read the ingredients, like I said. But you could put soybeans, you could put pumpkin seeds. There's a lot of nice healthy walnuts in a little baggie, and then you would know what your portion is. I'll give you another example. My husband is more salty than me. I'm kind of more of a sweet person. But we bought these chips the other day. They're kind of good, sweet potato chips. But he was eating, and before I grabbed them away from him, he had eaten about half the bag. Now, he's lost 30 pounds with me. He knows better than that, but he was hungry. He had just come home from work. They were very tasty. They were salty, which makes you crave more salt. So before you knew it, half the bag was gone. But guess what? There's 6 servings in the bag. A serving is only 9 chips, but that's what I would do. I would probably open this bag, get my little baggies out, and I would make 9 little baggies of these. I would make 6 little baggies of 9 chips apiece. And that way, even if a person, like him, he's not overweight at all anymore. He really got his weight under control. Wanted to have 2 servings, that would be fine. But you don't want to really ever have a bag with something that tastes delicious to you sitting around, because it's just, too dangerous. You might eat it. So that's a little tip about portion control. And I think that even something like organic dark chocolate, that's a nice thing before bed, probably better for you than Hershey's. But you would just want to make sure that you knew what your portion size was. And it was like half an ounce or an ounce that you wanted to eat, not half a bar. So you could see it that way. All right, so that's 3 tips already. So reading the ingredients, buying things in portion controlled sizes, and deciding what you want your portion size to be. And again, as a weight loss and lifestyle strategist, that's part of what I can help you with. Let's decide how much protein you want to eat. Let's decide how many carbs you want to eat. Let's decide what it's going to take to get you into that next size smaller dress. Okay, so how about number 4? Another way to do this is, let's say you don't have it portion control, but you can sort of dole out the servings if you know what they're going to be. I'll give you an example. So let's say you buy a pound of cheese. I love there's a wonderful mozzarella olive cheese at Mimi's. So you have a pound of cheese that you have. So when you first get it, even if it isn't cut up into portions, you can cut it up yourself. It's a pound. So you cut it maybe in quarters or in eighths, and this piece of cheese is 2 ounces, or this piece of cheese is 4 ounces. So you decide how much cheese you want to eat. You just don't keep cutting off little pieces of the cheese and keep eating until you're full, because then you will have consumed too much cheese. I'll give you a little kind of a funny story about how I did this. Like I said, I've kept off 70 pounds for 10 years, and I was really terrified once I lost my weight that I was going to gain it back. And I had to develop some of these hacks really to ensure that I could eat some of the foods that I love, but not overeat. So one of the things that I always loved was peanut butter. And this is a mostly no sugar peanut butter that I like from Lucky's. And so I had, when I had been heavy, I used to just kind of eat peanut butter by the tablespoon. And sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night, go to the peanut butter jar and just take the tablespoons out. That wasn't a good thing. And someone once said, well, just take the peanut butter from the jar and put it on your butt. That's really where all that fat is going to go. But I like peanut butter, and it was a good protein for me, and it did kind of help satiate my hunger, especially in the evening. So what I learned to do is I learned to look at how many servings was in it. So for instance, this one is 14 servings at 2 tablespoons. So what I would do is I would say, okay, I want to eat 1 tablespoon, which here is about 90 calories, which is good for me, before bed. So 14 times 2 is 28. So let's say I bought it on January 1st, and I would write on the jar, January 28th. That meant that if I had 1 tablespoon a day or a night all the way through January 28th, then I would finish the jar. If for any reason I went back in there and got another spoon, or I ate some of it during the day, which wasn't my intention, it wouldn't last till the 28th. But I had made up my mind that I wouldn't buy another jar of peanut butter until the 28th was done. And I really got very good at it. There was one time I went through an entire year, and I think like 12 jars of peanut butter, and I did it like exactly perfect every month because I was very committed to it. I didn't want to have more than a tablespoon of peanut butter a day, and I loved it enough that was my addiction. I got to eat my 1 tablespoon of peanut butter a day, and it worked out great for me. Okay, so that's an example. So you could do it with peanut butter, you could do it with cheese, you could do it with whatever kinds of things that you've decided that you want to eat, but you want to be just careful with them. Okay, so that's the doling it out portion control. And one other tip I'd like to give you tonight, because, of course, this isn't everything I know about portion control, but, and I do offer a complimentary consultation. I want to tell you that. If you want to just text me at 954-292-84. Appointments to where I can talk with prospective clients and friends and really just look at your eating habits, your lifestyle habits, your exercise habits, and see if, what are you doing, and is it moving you toward your health goals, towards your energy goals, towards your weight loss goals. And I'm always happy to do that. On my website, Body Wisdom by Dr. Donna, there is a lifestyle questionnaire as well that you can fill out, and I'll be happy to evaluate some things about your lifestyle for you at no cost or obligation there. But the fifth thing I want to talk about for portion control is containers that can help you with portion size. So I don't know, for instance, if you've ever seen a mason jar. This mason jar is about 2 cups. So let's say I wanted to make some overnight oats. Now, oats are higher in calorie and carbs than most of what I would want people to eat. But a little bit of oats is good in the morning. It'll help keep you full. So maybe in this jar, I would put maybe a cup or half a cup of, say, Greek yogurt. Then I might put in some berries. Then I might put in a couple of tablespoons of oatmeal. But this would be my portion. I wouldn't go into the, just make a whole big vat of oatmeal and just be eating it. I would put in as much oatmeal as I wanted, and that would be enough for that portion. Another thing that I've seen that's very helpful is you can get these containers. In fact, I bought these today. They're called Fit and Fresh, and they even have a little ice pack in them. So let's say you wanted to bring things to work. So you have your little ice pack, and then this is exactly 2 cups. And then it measures out whatever it is you want. So maybe you want 3 ounces of protein or 4 ounces or 6 ounces of protein. You can measure that here. And let's say you wanted a couple of cups of salad or you wanted a cup of fruit. You could measure it in your little container and you'd have it. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I wanted to have healthy veggies throughout the day. And all the research is showing we need to eat about 2 or 3 times as many veggies as we eat fruit. And if we want to have like a healthy heart and a healthy brain and all the rest, we need to have as many vegetables really as we can basically eat. So let's just say I wanted to have some celery and some carrots and some tomatoes and some green peppers. I could have 2 cups of that throughout the day. That's my portion control. And that's I can make one of these for every day of the week and keep it in the refrigerator, either at home or at work. But I would know that I ate my portion throughout the day of veggie snacks instead of other cups, and keep me full and satisfied. I wanted to give you guys a little chance. So that's 5 tips. Reading the ingredients, buying portion controlled sizes, deciding what you want your portion size to be and measuring things out, doling things out from an intact container, knowing what they are, and having a container that has portion sizes on it and carrying it with you or keeping it in your fridge. So I have a minute or two. Oh, nice to see Debbie Hazelton, Yuana, Beatrice, Alicia, my good friends Bruce and Lauren, Sandra. Nice to see you. I'm almost done here. Does anyone have a question or a comment or anything you want me to address before we wrap up here? I'm going to tape this so, of course, everybody can see it as well. But anything else that I can help you with? Hopefully you've got some good ideas. Hopefully some of these things will be useful to you. Again, my number is 954-292-8477, or you can send me a message right here that you want to set up a complimentary consultation. I was thinking that we're coming up on Valentine's Day, so I really just wanted to say, I hope that I showed you that little things do matter. 100 calories here and 100 calories there can add up to 10 or 12 or 15 pounds a year, which is what I did for way too many years. So what you want to do is be losing that weight, getting to a healthy weight instead of just eating mindlessly and without portion control and gaining it. So in weight loss and love, it's the small things that can make the biggest difference. So I'm Dr. Donna, your weight loss and lifestyle strategist. Thank you so much for joining me in this live stream, and I'd love your ideas and suggestions on future topics to do. Okay, thank you. Many blessings.